So if you understand all of the millions of different things that you could be achieving, you're not necessarily going to go for the heavy sale. But the other thing is if you have an idea of all of the things that you could be achieving, you can maybe go a little bit easier on yourself. Because we outsource, like people outsource their telemarketing to us, and they are obsessed with appointments and with sales. And they don't understand all of the other work that goes on before they even can identify someone that they can get an appointment with or have a sale with. So what I say, in terms of, because it's a pretty soul-destroying job, isn't it, being on the phone all day? Who actually is on the phone all day already? Just read 7 and you. They might headhunt you on the way out.
Yeah, we do about 3 or 4 hours a day.
You do about 3 or 4 hours a day. But if you're the only criteria for success is how many sales have I made or how many appointments have I made, you could get pretty upset, I think, and ready to end it all if at the end of the day you haven't actually made sales or appointments. And for me, this is all a process. So if you can identify this stuff and if you can actually put together like a process of stages that you need to go to. So for example, we're interested to identify decision makers in the first instance, and then we're interested to qualify them and get information to them, and then we're interested to follow them up, and then we're interested, and that's the way a relationship kind of happens in this day and age. It doesn't happen that you phone somebody up and they're busy leading their life, and they say, Debbie, it's amazing that you just called me. Deborah, is it? That's okay. Sorry. Right, Deborah, it's amazing that you just called me. I've been waiting for someone from New Zealand to call me all day.
Already now.
It's not happening, is the story. You know, people are not waiting for you to phone them up and sell them stuff. So you have to do some of this work before, and if you can do this stuff successfully, the marketing side of it, then the sales will start to come much more easily. So I think in terms of your sanity, think more broadly, what am I actually achieving when I'm on the call? And if you're getting through to a decision maker and you're making them aware, and you're getting some information, you're getting an idea of when they might buy, then that is actually a very successful call. So don't measure your success literally by the amounts of appointments or the amounts of sales that you've made. There's work going on before that. Does that make sense? Cool. So some of the things that we had were generating data, identifying decision makers, establishing contact, qualifying decision makers, identifying buying processes and cycles, qualifying prospects out, identifying sales opportunities, getting appointments, getting sales, are all the sorts of things that we're interested to achieve on the phone. Now, the thing about telemarketing is that it's incredibly targeted. Why would you phone somebody that you didn't want to sell to? Does that make sense? So what we do with our customers is we sit them down and we get them to think about their very best customers, and their top 3 customers, in fact. So if you can think of your customers in terms of where they are, their turnover, their number of employees, or if it's individuals, you might think about the car they drive, you know, how much money they earn, these kinds of things. Then you can start to build up a triumvirate, and you can say to people when you're on the phone, we deal with people like you who are between, for example, Chichester or Guildford, Portsmouth and Brighton, who have more than 10 computers potentially. And you can start to identify people on these terms. So if you can start to build this stuff up in terms of designations, values, sources, profitabilities, locations, then you can start to build some identification into your calls. So when they pick up the phone, you can say, I'm really interested in people like you who are, and then list 3 qualities that they are likely to have. And they might say to you, well, that isn't me at all, and you can say, okay, that's great, then I need to get to the person who is that. But do you understand how if you're targeted, you can in the first instance communicate to these people right off the bat, you are the sort of person I'm interested in, I am not wasting your time. Okay, and the thing for me is that you can be in charge of your state. You know, you can decide, and like you guys, if I was in a terrible mood, if somebody had actually run over my cat on the way to work this morning, I probably wouldn't do cold calling that morning. It probably wouldn't be a good day to do the cold calling. But what I would definitely do anyway is put some loud music on in the car on the way in and have a bit of a shout and a jig about. That's what I do. Because I understand that physiology dictates your psychology, your mood. So you can change your mood just by changing your physiology. So what we're going to do, because we've already been here for, how long have we been here for? Half an hour? So we're all going to stand up. Okay, and sort of spread out your arms. And if you end up touching each other, okay, I'm not liable. Okay, and I'd like you to look up at the ceiling and grin. And really green. And you can see, are you looking at the ceiling over there? Green. It's kind of hard to be miserable, isn't it? It's kind of hard, so thanks for that. You can all sit down now. Thank you. But the message is, quite simply, you know, you are in charge of your mood. Try and be in a better mood and try and be sharp and be sort of mirroring what's going on at the other end of the phone. Now, I had a situation once where I was calling for an order, and you know, I'd done the whole sale, and the guy was interested, and you know, we'd done the whole thing. I'd sent him the order form, and then I was just after him every day. 9:30. Where's my order? Where's my order? I wasn't even getting anywhere near him. And after about 4 or 5 days of this, the receptionist said to me, "Martin, you've called here every day at 9:30. You know, what is it that you need?" I said, "Well, I'm speaking to whoever it was, and he's got this order." And she said to me, "But he can't sign that." And I was like, "Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to start all over again." She says, "No, if you speak to so-and-so, and I'll tell you what, I'll put you in his diary for 11:30 on Thursday. So call at 11:30 on Thursday, I'll put you straight through. I know he's interested in this." So what was going on is that my guy had decided he was responsible and could do the deal, but actually couldn't. And it took the conversation with the receptionist to find out that that was the case. And then when I called the guy at 11:30 on the Thursday, it actually happened. So it just goes to demonstrate that these people are some of the most powerful people in these companies. They really are. And it is definitely worth getting these people on side.